Well, he went from a shaky foundation as a child to building one of the most successful development companies in the region. Darol Rodrock shares his life story in Out of the Shadow, I Can and I Will. It tells how perseverance took him from an early start in foster homes to becoming a wildly successfully self-made man and philanthropist. So Darol, you don't need any introduction. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. I appreciate it.
Okay, and you're pretty proud of this book here. You want to hold it up for everybody so they can get a good look? I was like, this is a great photo.
Thank you.
So what are some of the things we're talking about here? Because you are going back into your childhood. So why is now the time to share this story?
Well, I've been asked for many years, how did I get from the orphanage and foster homes, and my dad was in prison, and how did I become a successful businessman? And I really didn't have an answer for that. So finally one day I just sit down with a writer and started writing a book and tried to explain all of my past history and the gifts that I've been given by God. And all of a sudden I learned about myself and was able to share the story of success, overcoming adversities, and getting out of the shadow of the past.
And I think we're looking at some of those photos from the past. Can you tell us a little bit about your foster family and where you grew up?
Well, that is a picture of my 8th grade school, not my class. It was a one-room school with my foster mother, LaVon Robinson, who took me in when I was 12. I tell people I was valedictorian in my class. I was the only one in the class. So that was the only time I made the valedictorian.
You win by default. I love that.
That's right.
Okay, so this really is a story almost of like beating the odds, because sometimes we do hear these tales about kids growing up in the foster home, sometimes falling into the cracks, but you were able to accomplish so much.
Well, it was a gift, I think, and as I wrote the book, I learned that people came into my life just as I needed them, and was given the gifts of love and appreciation. And I started the foundation for foster kids, as a matter of fact, 5 years ago, because foster kids need support. They don't have any parents, brothers or sisters. And so they need someone to lift them up and care for them.
And that's amazing. How can people get involved in the foundation?
Well, we're growing it. What we want to do is take out of aging out. Aging out is a terminology where when they're 18, the foster parents ask them to leave. And an 18-year-old girl or boy is on her own. 71% of the girls become pregnant out of wedlock before 20, and 77% of the boys get a police record by the time they're 21. No support, no help, and we've just got to find a way in our society to care for these kids. And that's my focus. That's my energy, my commitment the rest of my life, to be able to help these kids get support.
And you are a man on a mission. What's one thing that you hope people take away after reading your book?
Well, I hope that they realize, and as a matter of fact, I was asked, what's the audience? The audience is anybody that has a shadow to live, that they can overcome it. Nothing can stop you when you inspire yourself and you believe you can be the best that you want to be in life. That's what this book's about.
Okay, and do you have any advice for young people or kids growing up in the foster care system?
Well, believe in themselves, even though the past says you're not supposed to. When your folks don't want you, when your family doesn't want you, and they ship you off or take you away, to still believe in yourself and find a spirit. The book is I Can and I Will. I will is your spirit, and I believe in that.
And I think that this is a great photo of you. Who are you with there?
That's Skip and Joanna, and I was able to meet them and introduce them at the home show 2 years ago. Great people, tremendous family who are service-oriented to the Lord. There's no question.
And they do a lot with Magnolia Journal that's also owned by the parent company of KCTV5.
Is that right?
So
I didn't know.
That's really fun.
Wonderful.
Well, you learn something new every day, and we
day.
learn so much from you, and thank you for your inspiring story. If you would like to learn more about this book, Darol has a signing this Wednesday at the Carlson Center lobby at Johnson County Community College. He's giving away 200 copies of his book to the first 200 people. Now, if you can't make the event, you can go and find his book on Amazon. So, Darol, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you very much for having me.